Welcome to the Database Dojo. Today, we're going to talk about the group by clause. In SQL, the group by clause combines rows that share the same value in specified columns. This means it gathers them together based on those shared values. For example, let's say that we have a column and this column represents colors and it has many rows. And as you can see, I have blue, red, green, red, etc. Here we can see that we have repeated rows. However, when we group these colors together, we end up with unique rows. The group by syntax goes as follows. You select the column or the columns that you want to group by. Optionally, you can add an aggregate function, which we're going to talk about in the next video. This is the part 1 of the group by clause. In the part 2, we're going to group by and we're going to learn about aggregate functions. So you select the function or functions that you want to group by and the same columns that you have in the select clause that are not in aggregate functions, you're going to have them in the group by clause as well. Why the columns in the select clause also need to be in the group by clause? Because that way we prevent ambiguity. The group by clause tells the database how to group rows. If you select columns that are not part of an aggregate function and are not included in the group by clause, the database doesn't know how to handle these columns, leading to ambiguity and data consistency. Including all non-aggregated columns in the group by clause ensures that each row in the result set is unique for the grouped columns. This consistency is necessary to accurately summarize the data using aggregate functions. Another clause that we are going to explore in this video is the order by clause in SQL. The order by clause in SQL lets us sort rows either in ascending or descending order. Order by sorts rows in ascending order by default. Now we are in pgadmin 4 and we're going to see some examples of the group by clause without aggregate functions. Again, we're going to explore aggregate functions in the next video. So let's go ahead and let me close this window so I have a larger view. So the first exercise is asking me to retrieve a sorted list of all unique supplier IDs from the products table. So there are two ways that we can do this. The short way to do it will be doing something like select distinct supplier ID from products. If we go ahead and execute this query, we're going to have the unique suppliers. If we run this query, we're going to have unique rows. As you can see, nothing is going to be repeated. Oh, this is not complete. I need to sort them. So I will do order by supplier ID. Go ahead and run that query. And this is going to be an easier way to see that we don't have repeated rows because we have 29 rows. And if we scroll down, we have 29 supplier IDs. So by running this query, we have unique rows for the supplier ID. Now, I want to show you how to use the group by clause. I'm going to remove distinct and I'm going to write select supplier ID from products and I'm going to group by supplier ID. If I run this query, I should get the same result that I got running the previous query. Let's go see, execute this query. And as you can see, I get the same result. And why do I get the same result? Because I grouped the supplier IDs. I grouped them together. Let's go to the next exercise. So here I have list every product by name for each supplier ID, sorted by ID and product name. So I'm gonna go ahead and select product name and supplier ID from products I'm gonna do group by and every column that I have in the select clause, I need to have in the group by clause. Finally, I need to order by supplier ID and product name. So there's something interesting going on here. It's saying to sort it by supplier ID and product name. I'm gonna first order it by product name and supplier ID, like after. So I'm gonna see what I give with this query. Let's go ahead and do this. As you can see, it first sorts, the first sort is by the product name. And as you can see, I have A, then B, then C. And however, the supplier ID is not that sorted, it's not something that I'm comfortable looking at and like that kind of solve the problem that we want to figure out. Now, if I order by supplier ID first and product name after, let's go ahead and do that. Now, I can see the supplier ID. It is different. Now, the main thing is the supplier ID. So this is the correct query based on what this question is asking me, sorted by supplier ID and product name. So they want the supplier ID in order, and the product name is the second thing that they want to sort. As you can see, I feel like this is more readable. Let me go ahead and go to the next one. This problem is asking me to list every product by name for each category ID, sorted by the category ID and the product name. So I'm gonna go ahead and select the product name and the category ID. from products, and I'm gonna group by the same category, the same columns that I have here. I'm gonna be the ones that I'm gonna group by. And I'm gonna order them by category ID, category ID, and product name. So what this query is gonna do is first I'm gonna see like the category ID is gonna be sorted like 1, 2, 3, 4, and the product name is gonna be sorted alphabetically. So if we run this query like we suspected, we have here the category ID, and these are the product name for each category ID. So for the one we have here and we scroll down, we see all these for one, then we have number 2 and number 3 and so on. Great. Let's go to the next one. The next exercise is asking me to list every customer's contact name and their country, sorted by country and then by contact name. This means that they want to see the country first. For example, the country that starts with the letter A, I want to see the contact name and the country that they are from. I want to make sure that the countries are ordered alphabetically. And then after the countries are ordered alphabetically, now you can order the contact name, alphabetically too. So to do this, let's gonna go ahead and do select contact name, and also select country. And in this case, we're working with the customers table. I'm gonna group by contact name. So every time that I do a group by, I usually just copy and paste what I have in the select clause. And I'm gonna go ahead and order by country. Now in reverse, I want to see the names on the left and the country on the right, but I want to make sure that the countries are sorted alphabetically first. Country, contact, name. Let me go ahead and run this query. And as you can see, the first country that we have is Argentina. And that's the first country that we go A, B, and the contact name is also sorted alphabetically, but the thing that takes precedence is gonna be the country. And if it is easier for you or your question is not that strict, you can just go ahead and all the columns, they could be in the same order in all the clauses that you have. For example, if I do select country name from customers, group by country contact name, in order by country contact name. The only thing that's gonna change is that the country is gonna be now on the left side and the contact name is gonna be on the right side. So let me go ahead and show you from this query. And as you can see, that's something that, if you want to keep it consistent, if you want that consistency so you don't get confused, you can do it this way too. Okay, let's go to the last one. So this one is saying list every customer's contact name along with their contact title, sorted by title, then by contact name. So here I want to see the title that they are and the name that they are. So for example, somebody might be the sales representative of a company, or somebody might be the owner of a company. I want to see the names and the title that is corresponding to that name. So to do this one, we're gonna do select, and we're gonna go ahead and to keep it consistent, I'm gonna first select the contact title. And I'm gonna select after the contact title, the contact name, contact name. And I'm gonna select from, and the table that I'm selecting from is the customers table. And I'm gonna group by these columns that I have in the select clause. And I'm gonna order by these columns that I have in the select clause as well. So let me go ahead and run this query. Oh, we have a syntax error. I'm glad that this error came up. The error is saying this column contact title doesn't exist. It actually exists. I just made a mistake typing it. So let me go ahead and fix that for all of them because I copy and pasted all of them. So let me go ahead and run that query again. And I did the same thing for the name. What is happening? Can't type today. Okay, let me go ahead and contact. Okay, yeah, I did misspell it badly. Yeah, I apologize about that. Let me go ahead and there we go. As you can see, I have accounting manager, and if I scroll down, I'm gonna have assistant, marketing assistant, gonna have some owners, and I can see the title of each customer. Okay, and this was the last exercise. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below. I'm gonna do my best to reply to all the comments. And if I don't reply to you, somebody else is gonna reply to you. This is a community where we help each other. In the next video, we're going to talk about aggregate functions. So stay tuned for that. This is the Database Dojo. Thank you for watching and have a blessed day.